Hi, this is Anais and welcome to my channel. Thank you very much for stopping by, and please like, share, and subscribe if this reading resonates for you. I want to take a few minutes to do a preamble about where the current energies are right now for the Sacred Union community for Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. We're in a very, very powerful window as we're coming on to merging our timelines, our individual timelines, and merging our timelines with Gaia's evolution, and merging our timelines with Source co-creation, which is the ascension journey. And it is really what those of us who are in sacred union have been preparing for a very, very, very long time. So for many of us, we are feeling fairly certain that this will be our last incarnation on this version of planet Earth. And so those of us who have progressed in our sacred union journey understand the dynamics that are involved with aligning our energy bodies, our subtle energy bodies, with transitioning from the 7 chakra system to the 12 chakra system, and coming into spiritual sovereignty in relationship to Source. So while we may have a team of helpers working with us on the subtle planes and in the higher dimensions, we no longer require intercession. Most of us are able to find within our community the help that we need to clarify our own questions and also to clarify our answers. So most of the reason I'm here doing this is because A, it was given me as a task that I needed to do as part of my mission work, to bring a new perspective to what's happening in sacred union, and to just bring a little bit of a new perspective to the adventure that using cards and symbolic images are, as we're learning to really come from the explanation situation, which is the 3D construct, to the experiential domain of our reality, where we experience first and we become clear that creation and co-creation happen from the inside out, and all of this is primarily an inside job. So I will be doing another Meeting the Beloved in Sacred Union webinar this coming Saturday, which is, oh geez, I don't know, I have to check the calendar. I'll put it in the description box below. I am on a sacred union journey, as are 2 of my very dear friends, and they're going to meet with me again on Saturday, and we're going to do a live podcast about meeting the beloved, sacred union journey, and the common themes that happen, that are happening, that will happen, because the union energy is unfolding in waves as the ocean of source consciousness washes up on our individual shores, on our individual conscience and consciousness. And the unification process that we're in, not only with our inner masculine and our inner feminine, and coming into union within ourselves and with Source, but also all the balancing and integration of our subtle energy bodies. Now, if you're someone who's on a sacred union journey and you're connected with your sacred union counterpart, you are probably experiencing some unusual moments where you're having moments of telepathy or a really clear sense of tuning into your counterpart. And this is experiential. You have no sense of when it's going to happen, although you can set some boundaries, because I feel it's important at this time. We're also remembering to set clear boundaries for everyone in our soul group, our counterparts, and our families of origin, our spouses, our children, and the people that we are close to, friends, family, co-workers. So what I also want to share with you is that right now the forgiveness energy has been so intense and beautiful, and it is bringing the divine masculine to breakthrough. And he's coming out of breakdown and moving into breakthrough. So I do invite you to join us on this coming Saturday. Oh, let's see, today is the 10th, so Saturday is going to be I think Saturday is going to be the 14th, but I'll check and put it in the link below. And so if you haven't watched my preamble video about how I do these readings, I hope that you will, because my approach is quite different from other readers. Not necessarily different from everyone, but I do not use traditional tarot in the traditional way. So these are intuitive card readings that I pre-shuffle, I sit, I meditate, I tune into the current energies, and then I just allow the shuffled cards to fall out, drop, stick their noses out, and then I will allow the shape of the reading to inform me what the reading needs to look like. So I don't have a standard format. Now today, this reading is particularly for the divine masculine. And here are some of the questions that I'm holding when I'm shuffling the cards and cutting and allowing the cards to find their way into the reading. What energy wave is Sacred Union riding today? What energy will deepen intimacy in ourselves and with others? Which energy will deepen trust in our trust in Source and in the Sacred Union process? What energies are supporting union? What energies are supporting our mission? And what personal guidance might we consider would be appropriate for us today? And today, what I have coming out first were guidance cards of energy coming from Source. The first card is Joy. And this is about the breakthrough for the divine masculine. Because of the beautiful quality of forgiveness energy that has been activated within the awakening collective, the divine masculine has been supported to a place where he can actually now feel himself in joy. Now, what you will have noticed here is that I said I was going to do it, and I did. I redesigned a card here which represents the cosmic egg of the divine masculine, and I have removed the snake energy from this card. So this is a complete nod to Kim Krantz and her gorgeous artwork. But in her deck, the cosmic egg is an egg of creation with a snake wrapped around it. And from the perspective that I come from, that continues to portray the distorted masculine, and I really wasn't willing to do that. So just note that, and no shade on Kim, and I'm not violating your copyright, but I wanted to just give people another way to visualize these gorgeous eggs of co-creation. These are the eggs in which our human bodies live, in which all of our subtle bodies are organized. Now, if you're not familiar with subtle energy work, and it's kind of hard to imagine these days, but I know that many people have been using or have been trained in Reiki. And Reiki is a system that actually implants symbols in a client's chakras. And the information that I have from Source is that that is an inappropriate activity. It is not one that Source, we could use the word approves of, because it has an impact on a person's sovereignty. When you have an implant, and that's what a symbol is, if you do not know what it means, if you do not know what it's going to do in any of your particular chakras, and if you're still only working with the 7 chakra system, then when you allow someone to insert a symbol, you're allowing someone to tag you, to put an implant in you, and you are not completely clear and conscious of what it is, and you have given away your sovereignty. So the journey of ascension within the sacred union context is all about returning home in spiritual sovereignty. We're returning home having done our own work. We're returning home having become conscious of all aspects of ourselves. And those of you who are on this journey know how intense it is. It's extremely intense. And I just went through another week of unexpected intensity and developments and beautiful resolutions, as I had a guest here with me, and we did some beautiful inner work and reconciliation work. This is a very dear friend of mine, and as a soul group, which we'll talk about in our Saturday webinar, we have been so brave and so deeply loving and fearless about looking at, now for us, we are really working on our past life connections within our soul group and within our individual lives. We have done enough work that our daily lives are functioning in wholeness and joy and peace and blessing and abundance. And whatever is not functioning at that level, we are finding now we are tugging on threads, past life threads, past incarnational threads, because we have to clear all of this distorted information out of our subtle energy bodies in order to make it through the ascension gates. So this reading today is for the Divine Masculine, again, who has come through into a breakthrough through the journey of forgiveness that he's been on himself, and that the collective has been supporting him as he's been forgiving the distorted masculine. This includes family, emotional patterns. This includes the patriarchal brutality of incest and sexual abuse and sacrifice, and continuing to generate instances of heartbreak within our human collective by design and by intention. So the next card out was really that this reading is for the Divine Masculine. And this is a really beautiful card showing him fully connected and in his sovereignty, and connected to his heart, connected to his divinity. He is full on fired up for his connection with Source, and he is not confused about being a light worker. He understands that light and dark are in balance within Source creation, and he has done his shadow work and is continuing to do his shadow work. And so today the current energy is presenting a very strong, unified, loving Divine Masculine. And as we're coming into the next eclipse, this is really lovely to feel these energies flowing, and I can actually feel them flowing through my body right now. They are very, very intense, yet subtle, gentle, but powerful. So thank you, Divine Masculines, for all the work that you've been doing. Now I am going to do an extended reading, but I wanted to come and go into the general reading for the Divine Masculine. And these are the cards that invited themselves into the reading. First we have the Sage. And this is the wizened, the wise, the experienced, the intentional. I can no longer be fooled or robbed of my sovereignty, masculine identity. And the next out was Indy. And this is where the divine masculine has required forgiveness to break free of the indecisive, wishy-washy, I want it, I don't want it, I know, I don't know, I trust, I don't trust energy that has been so much part of the journey of the divine masculine and the divine feminine too, as we've moved ever closer to our wholeness and in our full sovereignty as we journey home together. So this is the Indy card, and this is beautiful because here we are seeing what the divine masculine has been working on, which is integrating this inner part of him. And this is a beautiful image of kind of the insecure little boy energy that hasn't been allowed to make up his own mind. He hasn't almost been allowed to even have his own mind. And now, with all the inner work that the divine masculine has done, he is being loved and held and supported in strength and in vulnerability and in humility and in wisdom by this future self of the fully sovereign divine masculine, who is free of the distorted patriarchal male overlays and templates. And then next up we have Solus, and this is the radiant, eternal, soul-sparked self of the divine masculine. This is the spiritual, gorgeous self of the divine masculine, and you can see this is his heart energy has opened. And if we want to think of ourselves as angelic beings, which we are, this is the divine masculine who is currently in human body, awakening to his angelic heritage and allowing all of his subtle bodies and his 12 chakra energy system to be awake and informed in his angelic wisdom and intelligence. So once again, for the both sides of the poor, impoverished, indecisive, worn down, step to it masculine child who has had so many oppressions in the form of patriarchal overlays embedded into his energy system, look how worn and weary this being is. And now he has his gorgeous, full, eternal source spark self and his wizened and deeply protective and loving future self, elder masculine energy, supporting him in his breakthrough into joy and into his true nature as divine masculine, with his original divine blueprint now operational and coming online more and more every day. And next out we have the Himself card, and this is the contemporary human male who has aligned with all of the archetypes of male energy, who are in alignment with Source, who are soul sparked by Source, and who for eons have been in the struggle to return to this true nature embodied in their physical human bodies. So here you see the determination on this divine masculine's face, and here you see the clarity of insight and wisdom and understanding and power and love on the countenance of this aspect of the divine masculine. And these two are now merging. So we are coming into this absolutely gorgeous evolution of the divine masculine. And these are the current energies. And this, so much of this has to do with forgiveness and compassion. And what are we forgiving? What are we holding compassion for? Where we have turned away from our true nature, where we have made the choice to turn away from our true nature, and where we were put in an emotional body distortion of shame, humiliation, disgrace, not being strong enough, don't ever cry. All of this is now being integrated into the gorgeous and completely whole divine masculine who is having his breakthrough and who is beginning to experience himself liberated in his physical body and feeling his future self in his integrated wisdom and his spiritual self completely aligned with source and holding and anchoring the divine blueprint. This is just amazing, and after what I was through this last week, I can really feel for the divine masculine, because a lot of the healing work that I did with my friend this week was about looking at the depth of brutality that all of our beloved masculines have undergone for eons. And finally, we're coming to breakthrough where they will actually be able to experience themselves in wholeness and with joy. Now, for the second row for the divine masculine, next we have out the singer of intuition. And this is a beautiful card that again shows the full inner bliss channel lit up and open to information coming in from all sources of divine intelligence. And this card's a number 7 for those of you who are aligned with that. But here we have, let me put these back in the order in which they were originally came out. Here we have the singer of intuition aligned with the sage, with the divine masculine who is open and integrated with his own inner feminine energy and has become completely connected to and awaken his connection to the divine. And his intuition is now serving that connection to the divine, and it is no longer serving the energies of manifestation, service to self, and that line of use of our beautiful, gorgeous, co-creative energies. Now, what came out as a healing energy for this inner masculine who's been so shriveled and indecisive and unable to experience himself in his own authenticity. And we would rather have this, there's healing here for this indie, and it would be the same level of healing for those we would have identified as the patriarchal narcissistic male. But in this instance, we're looking at indie, the indecisive male, can't commit, wishy-washy, doesn't know what he wants, doesn't experience his own subtle energy bodies, may be fragmented in his physical body, and has been through so much abuse and torture over so many lifetimes that he's barely hanging on to a sense of himself. So this is the singer of healing. And once again, you can see that this is an alignment that goes through the physical body. If you look at this in relationship to Indy here, this is the top and this is the top, and those wings that have been so tattered and torn are now being sung into a healing format so that this energy can once again feel itself as a sacred inner masculine in his youth, when he was young and impressionable and was not fully part of how he got to form himself, wasn't the decision maker. Then next out, the card that came out was the singer of transfiguration, which is again a gorgeous reflection of the soulless energy. It is as if this huge meta being has brought itself into a key focus here so that this energy can be part of awakening and lighting up the embodied human male, liberated and free from the patriarchal masculine distortions. So there's a tremendous amount of energy coming through today for this process of transfiguration, and this will help the divine masculine counterpart really feel himself relax into the biggest part of who he is and feel safe, safely held and supported by this enormous energy. This energy is an energy that can power a galaxy. These are our meta beings, are enormous, and it takes a lot of growth on our part to be able to awaken into the intensity of that and into the magnitude of how literally big we are when we come back online with our divine source inspired blueprint. And then next we have out this is perfect, the Journeyman, which is the fairy oracle card for you have completely lightened your load and you have integrated and you have gone through your cycles, and now you're ready to step off, take a leap of faith, and go and meet your own co-created destiny in the world, in all of your incarnations and with all of your spiritual bodies intact. So here we have the transformation. If we're going to look at the singer of Transfiguration, has taken the divine masculine's inner child and transfigured them from this to this sweet, confident, loving, courageous fool who is on his way to learn all kinds of new and wonderful things, feeling that the world is a safe and happy place in which he can explore being his fully authentic self. Okay, so at the another card that came through for the general reading, as we're looking at all of what's happening for the divine masculine, this card, regeneration, is part of the current energies. And I think this is just such a gorgeous depiction of the energy flows within us when we have awakened into our 12 chakra energy system, and we have begun to feel the deep, primal, loving relationship that goes on in our bodies and in all of us with the earth's elementals, the air, the water, the fire. This is just gorgeous. So we have regeneration that is supporting the divine masculine today. And I would say that the cards that have come out, this came out afterward. It was like, if you didn't get the message, this is what this energy is about today. It's about joy, the divine masculine coming in to fully experience regeneration and moving into breakthrough within himself, with his external other, with his internal divine feminine, and in the collective. Beautiful. Full regeneration so that he can enter into whatever his mission work is with regard to cleaning up the distorted templates that remain and that he is part of taking that task on. So there you have that. Now, in the extended reading, I'm going to show you what the cards had to say, what the energies, current energies are with regard to this divine masculine breakthrough and how it is reflecting or reverberating through the energies with his divine feminine. So I hope that you'll join me in the extended and we can take a further look at the developments within the sacred union and the current energies. But if this is where you go on to continue with your work that is part of your sacred union journey today and managing your daily tasks, thank you for stopping by. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.